If you've either got an electric skateboard that's maybe like a hub drive or something like that, or maybe you're just wanting to get into e-skate and you need to have something that's an all-terrain type board, but you want to spend the least amount that you can and still get something good, right? Well, today I'm going to introduce you to the Isinwheel V10 belt drive electric skateboard. Welcome back, I'm Tony, and man, it is hot in this studio. I've even got air conditioning going. It feels like temperature of, I think, 115 degrees today, so we've had that and a lot of rain lately, so it's been kind of touch and go, like get out and ride whenever I can, and I definitely do. Now this board has encouraged me to do that. It is a nice board. This is a low budget board, but it's not a low budget board, if that makes sense. Well, it costs less, but it has nice features. It's got pretty much everything you'd be looking for. Now today and tomorrow are Prime Day as of the day that I'm publishing this video. And if you look at the Isinwheel website, it's listed for, well, the MSRP is $1,099.99. They have it marked down to $749.99. And then it's actually marked down an extra $100 to $649.99. Now this is a new arrival. That's why they've got the price marked so far down. And then if you go to Amazon today or tomorrow for Prime Day, it's marked down to $599, so $600, and you get a lot of skateboard for that. And the best part about it, this is all terrain. It's got those nice airless wheels on it, and it's not a cheap toy type board. This has actually got, you know, everything that you'd find on the more expensive boards, maybe just not quite as powerful, that type of thing. Now I've already edited the unboxing and assembly as well as the ride and talk, so I know that's a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to keep this brief today, so let's give you a quick explanation of the specs. So it says the motor capacity is 2 times 1500 watt. They look small, but they're actually pretty powerful, especially if you're in the 4th speed mode. Lots of torque on that. They're saying 28 miles max range and 32 miles per hour. That's the top speed they're claiming, and I think it can get that speed. I'm actually a 195-pound rider, so I'm a little bit on the heavier side. You got to remember, they test these boards with, most likely, with a rider that's 165 pounds, no wind, perfect conditions, flat, you know, terrain. So add in those hills and the wind and your weight and stuff, so your mileage may vary basically. Got a 43 volt, 12.5 AH battery capacity, 6-hour charging time on it. Yeah, it takes every bit of that 6 hours to charge this thing. And they're saying the max load on this is 264 pounds. Yeah, the max load might be 264 pounds, but that's just what can the board handle, right? If you're 265 pounds, it's gonna affect the range, the speed, and basically the power of it. It has 6-inch off-road wheels, a 25% hill climbing on it, and IP54 waterproof. Now, as you'll see here in just a couple of minutes, I do ride this thing through wet grass. Lots of water spraying up and underneath the board and everything, but it's got a nice seal around that battery pack. That was probably, that's more than I normally do. If I see water with any of these boards, I'm like, okay, hold on, I'm gonna stop and pick it up, because it just makes the ground more slippery. It's more chance that you might crash, and also you might damage these boards, and anywhere from $600 to $3,000, you don't really want to do that. But if you got into a sticky situation and you did get a little bit of water on the board, it'll handle that, so it's basically splashes and light water on the board. As far as the deck, it's 1 layer of fiberglass, 1 layer of bamboo, and 8 layers of maple. It's a pretty firm deck. It doesn't have a lot of flex, as you'll see. And those 6-inch outer honeycomb rubber wheels designed for maximum grip and shock absorption. Dude, these things totally do, you know, because they've got those holes in them so they squish. Going over rocks and sidewalk cracks and rough asphalt and stuff like that is not a problem with these. I've got these kind of wheels actually on my Meepo Hurricane and a couple of other boards around here. I swap them out and stuff, but these wheels are great because you don't get flats with them. And I live at a beach area, and we do have some cactus and those little goat's head things. Oh, those things are menaces. And last, you can stand out with style and visibility. They have 2 LED light strips with 10 vibrant color options. The only thing about these is they're not integrated with the board. You don't turn them on and off with the remote or anything like that. They're Velcroed on. Velcro seems very secure, as you will see. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and get right into the unboxing and assembly of this. If you're already an e-skater, you might not need all that stuff, but people that are just getting into this, you might want to watch this. So it comes pretty much fully assembled. You just don't have your wheels on here, and they've got these little Velcro strips that are on here for those lights. First thing you gotta do is get these wheels on here. I like to stick something in there just to hold the spacer where it needs to be. We're just gonna slide that on there, and boom. Pull that onto the pulley as much as you can, and then we're gonna put the nut on there. I realize that most of you probably already know all that, but there may be somebody new watching. Get that snug and good to go. I'll do that on the other side. All right, I just realized when I went to put the other one on there that I didn't get the speed washer on there, so I'll take this one off. I'll put it on there properly. Oh, I also want to point out that there is only one way for these to go on. These thin kind of fan looking things, they need to go on the outside. The inside looks like that, and that is what attaches to the pulleys, so just make sure you get that correct. Now, of course, the front wheel's just a simple matter of putting those on in the front. You also want to make sure that these kind of thin fan-looking things are towards the outside on those, even though it doesn't matter as much because there's no pulleys on there, you still want to get it that way. All right, well, let's turn it on. Okay, I don't know if this has the... It does. It has the spin to turn on, so you just put it on the ground and kick it, and it'll turn on. It is set to miles per hour. The brake right now is set to 2. Speed is set to 4. Battery's almost all the way charged, and the remote battery is definitely charged. Now, it does have 16 miles on the odometer. When you get one of these boards new, the reason for that is because they usually bench test these things. They put them on a rack and put them in cruise control and just let them run. That's to make sure that everything is working properly. All right, so let's see. We're in speed 4. Let's just go back to speed 1. Remote is very familiar. 11 miles per hour, and those actually look very balanced, so that's good. Speed 2. 20 miles per hour. Dang, 31 miles per hour. Now, the speed 4 and speed 3 are supposed to be the same, just that speed 4 has more torque or more takeoff to it, so more power at the acceleration. Yeah, so both of them are at the, you can see that that board battery is going down as you're using that 4th speed though. A little bit of a sag on that. Also, if you want to change your brake on this, you pull back and then you hit the function. There we go, brake 3, brake 4, brake 1, brake 2. So that's the sensitivity of the brakes. So that's the odometer, that is the trip meter, and that is telling you that you're going forward. I never put these things in backwards, so I don't even bother with that. I think maybe you hit this twice. Yep, and that changes the direction, so now it's backwards. Forwards. Oh, I almost forgot. So these lights right here, these light strips, they just tack onto the Velcro that's right there. And I don't know how well that's going to hold up, so I'll test that. But it seems like it's pretty solid, and you just really want to stick it on there. They come with a USB that has 2 heads on it, so you can charge both of them at one time. So that's cool. Of course, there's 2 of them. And then how do you turn it on? Well, it's not controlled by the board or anything like that. You got to pull them off. And then there is a button that's right here. You hold that down and it turns on. That's orange. I know it's kind of bright in here. Let me do this. Okay, so we got orange. Almost like cop lights. Some pulsing. That's pretty cool. I like that. And these things are bright, as you can see. And then to turn it off, just hold your finger on the button and it's off. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna say that the button should go towards the back and it just sticks on like that. And I'm gonna put them on there and we'll just leave them on there while we test this board out and see if they fall off or anything like that. I did tighten the trucks just a tiny bit. And we're on first speed. We'll go flip around over here. Wow, turning is really good. That's really tight. Might want to tighten these trucks up just a tiny bit. All right, so let's just do some initial stuff on speed here. First through third speeds are definitely going to be an increase. On the fourth speed, it's just about torque. So really slow takeoff on first gear. Hello. 11 miles per hour. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. We'll go one speed up. Let's slow down here, all right. Not very much torque on takeoff. Hi, guys. Whew, I think I might have to go back and tighten these trucks up a little bit. They're pretty loose right from the factory, and I did tighten them a little bit too. Hello. All right, we were able to get up to 20 miles per hour. Then again, I was going downhill. I'm gonna go back and tighten these up a little bit. All right, let's try this again. I went ahead and tightened up these trucks just a bit. Double kingpin, so they're always gonna be, you know, good for turning, but they were really loose right from the factory. So 20 miles per hour on speed 2, and that's on a straightaway. Clearance on the bottom looks pretty good with speed bumps. Yeah, it's real carvy. Speed bump. And these wheels, they're great for roads like this because while this is pretty rough, on urethanes, man, this would be leg vibration and all that, but these wheels, they handle it no problem. Okay, now let's put it on third speed and see what we get here. A lot more torque for sure. Whoa! I got up to 25 miles per hour, which is about how fast I like to go on one of these. And I hit a little dip in the road there. I was able to ride that out. Boy, that's as close as I've come to wrecking in quite some time. Board handled it though. That's pretty good. I was like riding back here. So it's a comfortable ride, and these motors are more powerful than I assumed they were because they kind of look a little bit small, you know? Now this hill that's coming up here, I usually have some issues with slowing down. Actually, no. Accelerated up that, so that's pretty good. Let's try a little bit of off-roading with it up here. You can hear those honeycomb wheels. And they perform really well. This is basically sand and gravel here. Now again, this is the first time I've ridden this board. Due to rain and stuff that's been happening around here, lots of gravel. All right. Sometimes that gravel can be pretty difficult, so not too bad at all. Flip her around. The board is really lightweight too, so that's good. The only thing is, where the lights are, that's kind of where I want to pick the board up and hold it, you know, when I'm carrying it. And they get in the way. But they can be taken off real easily. Velcro. You know, there's just enough drop down on here that I can feel where my foot is back there without having to look. I kind of lock my foot into that, so that's good. I would say that's probably more off-road than most people are going to do. Now on this little road, there are a lot of pine cones and other little bits and stuff that fall that normal wheels you might have a problem with, but these, no problem at all. You're gonna see how it does in the 4th speed. Man, it is first thing in the morning and I am already sweating. It's supposed to be a, I guess it feels like temperature today of around 110. So I was like, let's just get out here early. All right, put it in fourth. Let's see how that does. Okay, I'm just gonna do it from the stop here. So more torque. Oh yeah, definitely. Woo, all right. There's that dip. That's what almost got me last time, man. Whoa, man, all right. So of course I've ridden on these wheels before. I really like them. Some people just don't like them, but me, I live in a place where we have a lot of small cactus and those goat's head things. We call them sand spurs. And those things can pop your tires, and it's not something I like to deal with that often, you know what I mean? But these things handle anything that I throw at them. They don't have the best like knobbies on them, so for off-road stuff, you know, but for grass and things like that, they work great. You probably see all these little pine cones and stuff out here. That right there will stop you with a urethane wheel. With these, no problem. So the power on this board is really good. The board, the deck itself is really comfortable, nice and wide where your feet go. Got a little bit of a concave to it. I mean, not a major concave, but it's got a good concave to it. Does it have any flexibility though? Let's see. Doesn't feel very flexy. That's okay. You know, if you're talking purely on a value proposition, at 650 bucks, at least that's what it currently is at on their website, that is damn good. Man, listen to these wheels grab. I'm just gonna go back over this way real quick. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but. Sticky, I like it. The brakes, they work really good. That's only on brake level 2, and I was going probably about 20 miles an hour there. I didn't look, but not too bad. All right, so if you've never ridden on these wheels, how does it feel? Well, it feels like if you have a pneumatic wheel that is filled all the way to what their recommended range is. Like if they say 50 PSI, that's probably what these feel like, is about 50 PSI, but they're super comfortable and really, really smooth. As far as the lights go, they seem like they're holding on there pretty good. I haven't turned them on yet, but let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, in order to do that, got to pull one off. And that stuff's on there pretty good. Hold that button. And the lights are on. It's like police lights right there. Let's just put that on there. Really stick it on. All right, we're just gonna leave that on there. I wanna see what they look like in the daylight, and I have done a fair amount of rough riding. They have stuck on there quite well, so let's just go ahead and see how that goes. We're gonna take it over here and try it in the grass. But yeah, the motors, they surprised me. They're actually better than I thought they would be. Dude, for the value of this board, it's got pretty much everything you might be looking for. If you want to spend, you know, less money. Now, this grass is probably kind of wet. Yep, it is. It looks like it. This board should be able to handle, you know, your basic stuff. Little splashes and things like that, but that's quite a bit of water right there. Let's get off of this grass. Well, I guess we'll find out if it's able to handle that. Hi there. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do a full range test on this, but I've gone 8 miles so far and not even one bar has gone off of the remote, so that's not too bad. There we go. It's a fun board, and at $600 or even $649, that is a fantastic deal. You're just not going to find anything that has belt drive, all-terrain, nice big deck, and it's nice and secure and strong. LED lighting and all of that stuff. You're just not going to find it at that price point. $649 Even that's fantastic, but like I said, today and tomorrow, $5.99 on Amazon. I'll add the Amazon link down there in the description. I am not an Amazon affiliate. I will also add a link directly to their website. Yeah, the board's a lot of fun, and had this been my first board, because my first board was a hub drive from Posway, and man, those things, look, if you like hub drives, great. I'm not a big urethane fan in the first place. Pretty much you gotta use urethane with those. To me, they're not as fun, and you just don't have the options to change wheels and stuff like you would with this board. Again, I did review the V8 here, and that was a good little board, especially for the price of that one. Isinwheel's been around for a long time. They make scooters and other products, so they know their stuff, and they might not be the most well-known name in the e-skate world, but they do make a quality product, and their service is very good as well. In fact, I've also reviewed a couple of their scooters here on the channel. So that is the Isinwheel, or is it Isinwheel? Either way, Isinwheel V10 all-terrain belt drive e-skate at a great price. I want to thank you so much for your support here on the channel. Likes, comments, shares, subscriptions, always very important to my channel. So if you like what you see, hit that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, there's a red subscribe button down there and a notification bell. If you click both of those, you get notifications when I upload new videos. I also have a thanks button down below this video. If you're so inclined, want to toss a couple bucks my way, great. It's not inexpensive to run these channels, so every little bit counts. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. We'll catch you next time on the Vapor Trail channel.